Hello there, this is Jeremy Pataki. I'm gonna have to make this quick because unfortunately my phone's acting up. Um, I'm building three computers as you probably saw on Facebook. I wanted to kind of talk about some of the parts. The first one is the ECS Essentials KAM1-L. Um, it's a I actually recommend this motherboard for experimental purposes. Also, one other nice feature is this actually has four holes for instead of the two traditional like most AM1 boards have. This actually has a potential where I could probably put in a liquid coolant system on here. If that is possible, I want to do that to the Athlon 5350 and see just how far I could push that little processor. Other features is it actually has parallel ports for older devices like older scanners. If you're a Linux user, that means you could use any old scanner now. COM ports, which add some nice programming features. The BIOS on it is actually very nice. It starts off graphical, but it has an advance where it goes back to the old-fashioned type of setup where you can really tweak the settings a whole lot better than you can with some of these others I've been seeing. Um, Now this is a mini ITX. At least they left in the PCI Express. They also have a mSATA port, but this is only set up for internal Wi-Fi adapters and Bluetooth. Which if I do get one of these boards for myself, I'm going to be using it with a Intel AC class with built-in Bluetooth. Um, I paid $25. Well, the school paid $25 for this. Um, it's usually on sale, usually for that or $27. Regular price though is about $35. It's still worth the money so far. The only problem is it's not really a problem, but it's just kind of a heads up. On the Ethernet port, you have to plug it in until it clicks. And I mean really clicks. Normally with most of these I could hook it up to where it's just secure, but it didn't really connect. On this one, I had to really push in, wait to hear it click, and then was able to pick up the network here at this school with no problem. This does not have a internal USB 3.0 plugs, so unfortunately on this case, one of my USB ports is not going to be able to work because it requires a USB 3.0, and I've tried using it, plugging it in different manners, and yeah, it just didn't work out. But, you know, just get yourself a case that has just two USB 2.0 slots and you're good to go. Or just get yourself a little extension port, where you can do that. Anyway, let's get back to the task at hand. This runs very well so far. I love the BIOS settings on here. Very clean cut. You do have to set up the BIOS. The BIOS is not first boot. It's going to tell you that it's not set up properly. You do have to change it, but that's okay. The processor I'm using for this schools is basically the AMD Sempron 3850. Not overly fast, but not too slow, and it's a quad core, so it does the trick. We're installing for the operating system. It's Linux Mint 17.2 at this time. When 0.3 comes out, all the computers are going to be upgraded to that. That way, every 6 months when they update their operating system, we could just do one big update for theirs, because all they're using these for is just to get online. And we have this set up to where they cannot, install alternate browsers. They can't install any software without our special password, and they ain't getting it. Also, we disabled the private browsing function, and they're not allowed to mess with the history. So basically, we will be able to monitor where they've been. And if you're also in a private school, this is something I recommend for your classes as well. If you're using online online courses. I mean, I recommend this. Besides, it'll save you a ton of money. Anyway, this little Sempron is a decent little processor. Nothing to really, well, it's great for office work. I'll just put it that way. I actually, on my home computer, I have the AMD Athlon 5350, and I'll get more into that later. Right now, the case for this particular one, this is the only one that I could have gotten because unfortunately they ran out of supplies when I was ordering these boards. I was going to have 3 of these ordered, so I could only get this case. I got it for $35 on Newegg as well. All these parts I've got off Newegg. I actually looked at Amazon, but this was a better price. Anyway, this is a Raidmax Element. It's a mini ITX case. I absolutely love this case for a mini ITX system. I'll go ahead and while this is loading up, I'm going to unscrew the top here, which I love. I mean, everything is unscrewable. It's easy to get into, easy to mess around with. And pardon me, I'm going to hold on one moment. I'm going to set this down. And you might catch a glimpse of my ugly mug. There we go. Anyway, once you get that off, yeah, don't laugh. This did not come with a proper 2.5 harness, so I put that little drive in the best way we could. But anyway, let me see if I can't get this lit up a little more. Pull this out here. Anyway, as you notice that this board really fits in well. Right here you can really add a nice long video card, which is nice. The power supply is up here instead of on top. I just love this whole position. Cable management though was a little tight getting that board in because of that power supply. If they just had one just a little bit thinner, it would have worked even better, but they didn't. Oh well, no biggie. In fact, if you could find one a little thinner, you can replace it. Shouldn't be a problem. I mean, it is standard ATX. This has plenty of ventilation all the way around. As I said, because you could put in a long card, and you got that ventilation on the side, you know, you don't have to worry about your fan choking. This particular one did come with a power supply built in, and it's also, you know, of course, it's a Raidmax, duh. But it's a 480 power supply unit. It did not have. I did not see the connector to actually connect the power to like a nice video card, like a I'll say NVIDIA 950 GTX. It requires that little 6-port plug. Pardon me that I don't use actual lingo. I'm tired. I'm really tired. I didn't get much sleep. So anyway, back to the task at hand. You got plenty of room. It's a fair price at $35. It's worth every dang penny if you're going for a mini system. There is space over here where you could probably install additional hard drives if you got the right harnesses, or even made your own. You should be able to do so. The front panel's very sleek, simplistic, but yet it's very functional. As I said, it's worth all the money. Now, before I run out of videos, space on my phone here, I wanted to let you know that I'm signed up with Game Debate, and they have a problem. They don't like these little AM1 processors. They tell you you can't play jack squat on them. Well, funny thing is as I said, I got Athlon 5350. The computer itself, when I built it, um, it had a NVIDIA. Um, I put in a NVIDIA GT640. It's an overclocked version with from Gigabyte, but I bought that back in 2000 and actually, yeah, 2012. So I've had that card for quite a while. I was able to play Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, in 900p resolution with everything but just two settings. Everything else was on high. The two settings were on medium. Now, for a paycheck, they gave me this. This is the EVGA 2GB super clocked GeForce GTX 950. This is not the long one. This is the short one out of the bunch. And they don't have a picture. But let's go ahead and... wrong side. My bad, as I said, I'm using a phone to record this, so please bear that in mind. This is the smaller one. And again, pardon me, I gotta unwrap this. Hold on. There we go. Yep, you're seeing darkness right now because I laid the phone down. Anyway, here she is. And this is the 6-pin port. Well, get my hand out of the way there. There's that port I was telling you about. They didn't have one of these on this case here, but oh well. Just like this one, this came with two Molex to one of those pins, so it'll work. Anyway, I'm going to strap this baby onto my home system and I'm going to give it a run because the benchmarks on here were very high. If you go a pass mark compared to my 640 scored a little over, I think like 1,200 something. This one was over 5,000. So yeah, major improvement. So I'm going to test it with a lot of games. The only games currently on the other system that I couldn't really play at good speeds was Dying Light and the new Batman Arkham Knight game. In fact, I put in a TI card, a 650 Ti, that I was testing for a friend. I was actually able to go up to medium settings in 720p on Dying Light with a decent frame rate, but the Batman game still was choppy. Very choppy. Anyway, there's the cord I was telling you about. Anywho, I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to give it a test run, and I'll record test running of the other games as well. I need to put in fraps, so I want to put fraps in so it can clock the frame rates. And as I say, it'll be recorded off the phone, so please bear that in mind. But I'll be more than happy to prove to a lot of people that these games will run on these cheap little AM1 processors and do a decent job. Anyway, back to the other subject about this computer. We did use a little bit of a cheat on here. We used laptop drives like that one you saw that came from old laptops. And because of that, they saved a little bit more money. So when it included my fee for system building and the parts itself, they only had to pay $163 for that tower. The other two towers was about, it's about $9 more because I had to buy a different motherboard and different case. And I'll go ahead and show that to you real quick. Please bear in mind I've got a broke right foot, so I'm going to be hobbling. Yeah. Anyway, these are the two other cases. They're from Logic System. I actually am impressed with their cases as well, even though they're not flashy. I love the 4 USB 2.0 slots. It does help when you're using this particular motherboard, the ASRock KAM1-B-M. This is the same motherboard that I got on my main system. Reviews are kind of mixed on that, and I think my board may be a slightly faulty because my USB 3.0s are very finicky along what things I actually use on there. Alrighty, well, looks like that finished updating. Everything looks kosher now, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this little camera off, upload this to YouTube, and I will try to post more videos shortly. Also, I do have a Port Tech forum for those that want to be budget conscious like me when it comes to computers and high tech. Also, this also for off-grid living too, because the thing is you can be high tech and still be off-grid. You don't have to do so much sacrificing. This thing only uses 110 watts, and this system, even with an AM1 with the 5350, this system would only use about 30 watts. So basically, with all the hard drives I got and that card, I'm barely pushing 150 watts of consumption. So that's pretty good for off-grid living, and you're actually able to still game. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. Anyway, stay tuned for more videos. I am going to try to get them uploaded as fast as I can. I just gotta find areas where I can do the video recording and so forth. Anyway, y'all have a good day. Take care and be thrifty.